Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new. In today's video, I'm showing you exactly how I create and sell digital products on Etsy. Now, hopefully if you clicked on today's video, you either have an Etsy shop and you want to start selling digital downloads, or maybe you don't have your shop yet and you are just looking to get started. Either way, I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. Before we get into the full tutorial on how I create the products using Canva.com, how I sell them on Etsy, and then also how I drive traffic to my listings to hopefully result in more sales, I want to answer some questions that you might have right off the bat. So starting with why digital downloads. Digital downloads are great because you can make them for a really inexpensive or even free. Now, Etsy does charge you to list and sell an item, but you can create these products for free. So Etsy charges a 20-cent listing fee, and then after the product sells, they charge a 5% transaction fee and then a payment processing fee, which is 3% plus 25 cents. But other than that, because you're creating digital downloads, you don't have to worry about things like material or inventory or shipping costs. So you can really do this for really inexpensive minus the cost that Etsy charges you to list and sell. So you might be asking yourself what kind of digital downloads you can sell. So a lot of things that do well are like ebooks or wallpapers, printable calendars, things like that do really well on Etsy. But you can ask yourself things like, what kind of problem can you solve, or what are you passionate about? So for me, I am passionate about growing on social media. So I make a lot of tools and kits to help my potential customers grow on their platforms. Things like that is always a great idea. But if you're still having troubles coming up with what products to sell, I really suggest just going on Etsy.com and shopping around and looking at other listings and definitely getting some inspiration from other sellers. If you have any other questions that I didn't cover right there, definitely leave them in the comments down below. But hopefully as we go through the tutorial, it might answer some more questions for you. So make sure you stay till the very end. But of course, if you have anything, drop them in the comments. I respond to all my comments and I'm always here to help. So now moving into the tutorial, we are starting on Canva.com. Now I love Canva because there are so many things that you can create on there, but I did want to give out the disclaimer that I do have Canva Pro, which opens me up to a lot more designs and fonts and things like that, but it also gives me the ability to save my designs with transparent backgrounds, which is how I make things like my Instagram story stickers and my SVG files for Cricut. But you can do this for free. You can definitely make products with the free version of Canva.com, which is how I will be showing you in today's video. I won't be using anything that is a Canva Pro feature, so hopefully you can do these at home yourself as well. So this is the Canva website, and as you can see, I've got all of my designs here, but they also give you all sorts of templates to go through as well. That can be super helpful. Or you can go right up here to create a design. So as you can see here, they have custom size, or you could start with an image, or they give you some suggested items here. Now, I really underestimated how many suggested templates they have, but they really do have a lot. I use Instagram posts the most, so it's one of the first things that they are suggesting to me. But this is the blank Instagram post. Now, again, they have all sorts of templates that you can use, but for me, I'm gonna just start from scratch, and I'm gonna start by just picking a background color. This is the color that I use for all of my Instagram posts, just because this is kind of like my brand color. So hopefully when people are seeing this, it's kind of resonating with them that it's mine. But if not, it's just kind of the common theme in my products. So starting with text, we're gonna just add text here. Let's just do, don't try, oops, that's wrong. Don't try, just do. Now we can change the font here. They have so many different fonts, and again, we're not going to be using anything Canva Pro, and that is these with the little crowns on there. So anything without the crowns is a free font that you can use. So let's just go with this one. It's called Now, and I think it's really cute. So we're gonna change this. I like to space out my letters a little bit, so let's try 50. That sounds good. And then I center it right into the middle. And then we can do things like add some elements. So let's type in accents that we can add. This one's actually kind of cute. I really like that. So then we can make this a little bit bigger. Center that as well. And then let's position it to the back. And I kind of like that, but I want to make this a little bit more transparent. So let's do 90. That looks good, but maybe we should make this a little bit bigger. Let's try bolding it. Now, one of the best things about Canva is they allow you to add effects. So there's not a whole lot, but they have things like shadow, lift, hollow, splice. I really like using the hollow one, but I think for this one, having the background, it might just be a little bit too much to be able to read it, but let's play with it a little bit and see what happens. But I do actually kind of like that. Okay, so I like our first post, but because we are selling on Etsy, I'm gonna make several different posts to sell in a bundle. So on my Etsy store right now, I have one bundle that is 20 posts for $1.80, and that has sold pretty well so far. So I wanna make at least 20 and be able to do a bundle just like that one. And then if we come up with more ideas and we can make more posts, we could sell it in a bigger bundle and then therefore charge more money for it. So that's the goal for now, is to just come up with 20. So then keeping a pretty similar theme, I'm gonna just press the little plus button and create a second page. And then let's do another thing of text. And actually, I think I wanna keep the same font as that one. So what we can do is we can delete this and go up here and hit this little button, which is going to duplicate it. And then we can drag that into our page too. So then for this one, we're gonna do a little quote. So then I'm gonna drag this to the middle, but I'm gonna change up the font. So let's click on this one. We're gonna do no effects, and let's look at another font that we can use. So one thing that I really like about Canva is that you can go up here and you can type in literally anything and it'll come up with different fonts that you can use. So again, we are using the free stuff. So I really like this font, Brittany. I actually use it quite often, but I definitely don't want this to be capital letters. In one hand, let's actually take off the effects on these as well. So then let's change this to Brittany as well. So then if you go back into here, it'll show you your most recent fonts as well, right up here. So that way it's super easy to go back and find the font that you were just using. Okay, so now obviously our sizing is a little bit off, so let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. Let's try 75 and see what that does for us. Obviously that is still quite small, so let's go up to 100. That looks a little bit better. So I want these to kind of overlap a little bit, but because they're both in black, it might be a little bit hard to read. So one thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to change this to white and see if that makes it a little bit easier. And I actually do really like that. So let's just make sure everything is still centered and spaced okay. The other thing that we can do if you wanted to is you can change the position in this as well. So things like that, you can bring that forward. And then let's just go one after the other, making it forward so that they overlap each other. All right, so now that I've taken you through creating a couple posts, I'm gonna create the rest of them until we have 20, and then I'll show you how we make the listing. All right, so now we have all 20 designs completed. Before we leave Canva, we're gonna create our images that are gonna be our listing pictures. So this is really important because it's the first thing that your potential clients are going to see of your product. And so you want it to be something that's really enticing and something that really represents your product really well. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna hit here, download, and we're gonna keep it as a PNG, all 20 files. So this is what I was talking about with the transparent background, and as you can see, it is a Canva Pro feature, but definitely if you have Canva Pro, that is a great option to be able to create different things. But since these are just Instagram posts, we're just gonna leave it as the PNG, all 20 files. We're gonna hit download. It's gonna prepare our design really quickly, and then we're going to go ahead and save it into our images. Okay, so then we're gonna click up here, and so this is our folder. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and just add all of these to my photos really quickly. And then for now, we're just gonna leave that alone. And we're gonna go back into Canva. And so then I already have my Etsy listings here in my designs. So I'm just gonna go find that, which is here. So we're gonna hit this and do make a copy. Now, if you aren't sure what size you need to be using for your Etsy listing, I'll show you right here that it is a 2500 by 2000 px. So you can definitely copy that, but I also just got that straight from Etsy. So if you ever needed to look it up again, you can just go onto Etsy. So now we're gonna hit uploads. And as you can see, I've got some of my other stickers, but we're gonna do upload media onto device and go find them exactly where we just saved them. So I'm just gonna do all of them, and then we'll play around with it as we're making our listing. So we'll do choose for upload. So now these are all pictures from my last Girl Boss, obviously motivational picture listing on Etsy. So I'm gonna leave it exactly as it is, and we're just gonna swap out the pictures. And then as you can see, I usually do a what's included picture. And then I like to show all of my images, but I add my watermark because that way nobody can just screenshot my listing and use my pictures. They have to buy it to use my pictures. And then I always include a little how to download. So now that our photos are starting to upload, let's go ahead and pick some of our favorite ones to add into this very first picture. So I really liked this one. I thought that was really cute. Okay, so now we've got our images in there, and I like the fact that this gives you like a really quick glance of the things that you'll be getting. I'm gonna go ahead and leave this title as well because I feel like it still really fits well, and that way it kind of makes sense. It keeps all of my listings kind of the same, but I am going to change the background colors. This is something that I've been incorporating recently, but I like to have the background colors match, and I'm sticking with my pink theme. Okay, so then I designed this little thing that's supposed to look like your little Instagram feed, but I am gonna go ahead and swap out this photo as well. So let's pick one that we haven't used yet. We'll use, oh, no, I don't want that one. We'll do this one, our very first one that we designed. So again, I'm keeping my watermark. Like I said, we've got the design size, we've got, this is PNG format. And then I like to just add in available to post whenever, post to any social media platform. And then this section as well, we're gonna swap out some of these pictures too. Okay, so then these are our listing photos. We're ready to download these. So again, same process, saving it as a PNG, all 4 photos, we're gonna hit download. And then as this is preparing, we're gonna get ready to go over onto our Etsy store, which I actually already have the tab open. Okay, so then let's go over here and let's save our images before we go on to Etsy. So we're just gonna highlight all of these and do add to photos. And then also really quickly while we're here, I'm gonna hit this download button. And so here is the folder that we just made. So if you click in here, you can see these are all of the photos. And so I'm going to rename this. It automatically renames it to the first thing that you start typing. So we'll put 20 Girl Boss quotes. So really quickly, I want to talk about something that nobody told me when I started my Etsy store, and that is that Etsy will only let you sell 3 or 4 files at a time. So when you're making your listing, it'll ask you to download the files that will be therefore given to your client once they purchase it, and you're only allowed 3 of them. So when you're selling things that have big bundles like 20 Instagram posts, you have to put it in one file, but you can't just put it in one file like it is right now. You actually have to make it into a zip file, and I'm not really sure why Etsy did that, but it's just something that they do, and this is how you get around it. So we're gonna keep this file highlighted, and we're going to hit this little button, and we're gonna hit compress. So as you can see, that made the zip file, and that's literally all that you need to do. I don't know why Etsy makes you do that, but we're just gonna keep this zip file, and we're actually gonna come back to this in a little bit. So for now, I'm going to close this and we're gonna head over to the Etsy store. So as you can see, this is my Etsy shop, but actually we're gonna click over here to Shop Manager. And from here, we're gonna click Listing. So these are all of my active listings, as you can see. So we're gonna hit Add a Listing. So now we're going to start adding our listing. So we're gonna hit Add a Photo. Going into our photos, we're gonna click all of those pictures that we just designed in Canva for our listing. And we're gonna hit Choose for Upload. So it automatically makes the first photo your listing photo, but if you did want to change that, you can click Adjust Thumbnail right here, but it's actually exactly in the format that I want it now, so we're just gonna move on. So now we're gonna go to Title. So for this, I'm gonna start with exactly what's on our image, which is 20 Girl Boss Motivational Instagram Quote Pictures. But then we're gonna add to it. So this is what people are searching for to find our results. So I might say like IG post ideas. Okay, so that's too long, so let's see what we can. We'll take out for Instagram since Instagram's already in there. Okay, so then who made it? We're just gonna start filling this out. This is gonna be pretty self-explanatory. So then in this category, we'll say Instagram post, and it'll start to give you some selection. So I just kind of look at these and make sure that it's the same thing that I want. This isn't exactly what I want, so I wanted to go down here to the graphic design, logo, and branding, because I feel like that fits best. And then we'll do the primary color as pink, and I'm gonna do the secondary color as white. So we don't really have an occasion, but just so you can see, it's got all sorts of different things here. None of this really applies, and the same thing with holiday. If there was something that you have very holiday or occasion specific, I definitely recommend choosing that. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do the automatic listing just so that I don't have to worry about it, but we are gonna change physical to digital. So then in here is when we're going to do the description. So just like I said with the title of using all of the characters they allow, we're gonna do basically the same thing in the description box. Now, so far in my experience with Etsy, I don't think they put a character limit on the description. So I do recommend just filling it up as much as you can. And instead of being vague with your description, I think you should be really specific and put a lot of information in there and use it as a keyword box. So when people are searching for your listing, Etsy is gonna pull out keywords from your description to help find them the product that they're looking for. There is no limit on what you can put here, so definitely just fill it up as much as you can. So I went ahead and copied and pasted from my last listing that I did just because it has worked out really well for me, but I am gonna go through this really quickly and just make sure there's nothing that I wanna change. See, this is how I incorporated Instagram feed and girl boss quotes, and then I used IG as well in case somebody searches IG instead of Instagram. Okay, so now let's move on to tags. So you're allowed 13 tags, and this is just like suggestions that you can give to people as far as searching. So this is what people would search to find your products. This is just how to like kind of boost your listing in the algorithm. And I try to think of them like hashtags, but instead of using a hashtag, you're just using terms. So now moving on to inventory and pricing, I'm gonna set the price for the same $1.80, and then as for the quantity, I'm gonna do 100 just so that it automatically renews and I don't have to worry about inventory because again, this is a digital download. So now we're ready to actually upload our product into Etsy, and so this is where I was saying that it only lets you upload 5 files. So we're just gonna go in and get that zip file that we created earlier. So now that we have our product obviously created and put on Etsy, ready for somebody to come along and buy it, I want to show you how I try to drive traffic to my products to hopefully result in more sales, and that is by using Pinterest. So I'm a firm believer in Pinterest. I use it for all sorts of things. I even shared recently on how I use it to drive traffic to my YouTube videos, but I wanted to share with you exactly how I do it for my Etsy listings as well. So I usually start by doing one pin with just the regular first image that we use for our thumbnail listing, and then add some hashtags and stuff like that. But then I do a whole nother pin as well, where I do an image that fits the exact diameters that Pinterest wants in its images. So that way, not only is my post out there twice, but it's out there in different formats that might work on some people and not the other. I hope that makes sense. But that way, there are 2 different ways on Pinterest for people to ultimately find my listing. All right, you guys, that is it for me. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below if you like this video, if you learned something new, and if you have any other suggestions on videos that I can make to help you with your Etsy store, or if you are planning on starting one, how I can help you get started on the right foot. So thank you so much for watching again. I hope that you're having a wonderful week so far. And with all that being said, I will see you next time.